This is a quick tutorial on the use of the Fiber Owl. The kit we have is the KIT-FO4B-WSVSDsc connectors, and this is what we have. And it's comprised of two units: the optical power meter, it's the Fiber Owl 4 bolt optical power meter, and the WaveSource SM, or single mode fiber optic light source. So the light source, or the light source, is only single mode, but the meter will actually read multi-mode as well. But the light source that we have only will do single mode, or transmit at 1310 and 1550. Okay. A couple things about what we have. It's harder to see with this. Is that there is a port A and a port B on here. And port A, if you look at the back, port A is for class 2 laser. It's a different type of laser. It's for the VFL, the visual fault locator. So that's what that's got in it. If you're going to test with this unit, you need to test on, it's called 3 and 4, if you can kind of see that. 3 is at 1310 and 4 is at 1550. So that's what port B is. There's number 3 and number 4. So if it's identified where it's lit up with red in the little LED here, that means it's testing at 1310. And if it's green in that little LED, it'll be at 1550. All right. Then you have the owl, the meter itself. One thing to note about the meter itself, the testing, the input is only in this port right here. This is a universal port right here, and you can input anything into that. SC, LC, different types of adapter, different types of fiber inside of that. The port here that is identified as the light source, and this is identified as the detector. It's hard to see that in there, but this is the light source. This is only an outgoing port. This only goes out, so this doesn't test anything in. So don't think that you're going to plug something into this port and test anything in. This is only an output type of an item. So you can see I have it labeled here that this is the single mode test port, and you got it over here too, is it's the single mode test port. So what you have to do is, and on the light source itself, it needs to have a SC UPC connector type. So SC UPC. If you use an SC APC, an angled polished, then there's actually about a 0.8 gap in there that's going to throw off your measurements. So you need an SC UPC connector that goes into the owl light source that we have. Okay, so to do testing, and mine, I have the wrong cable, so I have an APC instead of a UPC, but I'll be able to show you how it works anyhow. So what you need to do is pull the plug it in. We would clean it first, so you'd clean the ends first, and there'll be a cleaner inside of the kit that we have, so you clean it. There's a Cleatops that you would do the cable with, and then there's a Fukujima that would actually clean the port, this port out here. So we're going to plug that in, and then we're going to come over here to the, we're going to remove the dust cap. Please don't lose the dust cap. And go ahead and insert that in. Alright, so now that is in, and then what you want to do is you want to turn on the meter. Give it a second to turn on. It's set right now so that the backlit is on. When the backlit is on, if it does go to sleep on you, you just quick press the power button and it'll wake up the backlit so that you can see it. Right now it's in simple meter, which is what we're going to do. We're just going to test for some loss on this this cable. And then what we need to do is come over to the light source, and we're going to turn it on. And currently it's set to port A. We need to change it over so that it goes to port B. So we're going to kick it over to port B. It's flashing red. Red means it's at 1310. That's what it's testing right now. If I were to hit it again, Now it's flashing green. Now it would be tested at 1550. So what I can do though is if I long press this thing till it flashes, yeah, there we go. Now you see how it's flashing. What I did is I kind of long pressed it until it started to flash. Oh, I turned it off. I'm going to let go now. Now it should actually alternate between the two. Now what it's doing is it's alternating between the two, which is great. Okay, so now I've got it in auto mode, so it's going to alternate between the two. And if I'm coming over here to my meter, I can just go into Simple Test by clicking F2, which is the select button. Select, or the F1 would be next, so that's how it functions. So we're just going to go into Simple Meter, and right now it's testing that, and I'm going to set it down here to auto and turn the auto on. And so right now you can see that it is testing at 1550, and if you want to change the wave, you can change the wave for what it is by clicking on the F3 button. So if we want to get to the 1310, and auto is on, and I want to turn this on. There's a setting in here that lets you turn this on so that they alternate, and it'll show you both of them. Got to figure out my sequence. There we go. There's our auto. It just kicked into auto over here on the meter. So now if you can see it, it's alternating between 1310. It's doing that. Now if I come over here on this, on the source, and get it to flip over, hold it till it starts to flash, and then let go. Now it's going to be alternating back and forth. There, now it's going to give me both readings. So I can monitor or review for 1310 and 1550. Okay. Now I have this angled polish in here, and that's why it's reading a 14 and a 13 on that as far as the dBm, and that's because of the issue with the angled polish. The light source needs to actually have a UPC inside of it so that it sends it out right. So there's too much of an issue with that. So I've got to get a different cable. But that's how you test, and then you could see your dBm, or you could flip over and do your dB loss and see where you're at.